I wanted Tyler Bate to win this match. I really wanted Tyler Bate to win this match. And I'm going to tell you my reason why. Reason why I wanted Tyler Bate to win this match is because I'm not saying this man is not dominant. This man is a very dominant superstar. He is a very dominant NXT UK champion. The problem was at NXT UK is those championships was barely defended. I'm talking about all of them. NXT UK Championship, NXT UK Women's Championship, and NXT Tag Team Championships. All of them titles at NXT UK was barely defended. Barely defended at that point. And when you have championships barely defended, you don't really see the glory in them all that much. Like, they're kind of like type titles at that point. Like, say for example, like the United States Championship and the Intercontinental Championship on the main roster for a long time in Vince McMahon's eyes was pointless. It was pointless as a motherfucker. Like the Vince did not care. But when Triple H came back to the scene and became head of creative, he made them titles matter again. He made them titles matter again. Like when NXT UK first started. Oh yeah, all of them titles mattered. The NXT UK Championship, Women's Championship, and Tag Team Championship. All of them mattered. After a while, less and less people stopped watching NXT UK. And when less and less people stopped watching NXT UK, them titles at NXT UK started to matter less and less and less and less. Now, NXT UK was a waste. Was waste of like a show. It was a waste of a show. It was a good show that became worse over time. And on top of that, they never utilized them titles till this past World Collide that just happened. And it's sad, but it's true. Like, when you think of NXT, when you think of WWE, what do people think of? Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, not NXT UK. People don't watch NXT UK. NXT UK is big when it comes to highlights because most of the time their matches are more brutal than the main roster in NXT. Their matches are more brutal. Like, you could see them when they're wrestling. They go in. They dive deep. They go rough. More rough than any of them any of those like main roster people. Like, they go harder than them. And their matches are brutal. Brutal. But the problem is no one was watching NXT UK like that. No one. So the only way for NXT UK to get their shine was to go on NXT 2.0 and go into Worlds Collide and unify them titles. And now, these champions that I just said, Bron Breakker, Mandy Rose, Pretty Deadly, bring them prestiges to those NXT UK titles. We already know them NXT titles are great. 2.0 titles are great. But them NXT UK titles, you're all double champions. Bring them prestige back to NXT UK. Give them props where props is due. Make them titles great again. I know it kind of sounds like that Donald Trump like shit. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say anything like that. I'm just saying them titles was lackluster for a long time. But make them titles great. Bring prestige back in them titles, okay? Bring prestige back in them titles. But overall, Bron Breakker becoming champion. I'm like, yes, that was like, I wanted Tyler Bate to win, but I knew Bron Breakker was gonna be a champion. I knew he was gonna be NXT champion still, world champion, and I already knew that he was gonna be UK champion as well too. because it's Bron Breakker. He's like a miniature like Brock Lesnar at this point. But I'm gonna let you know, the reason why I wanted Tyler Bate to win this match is because it's time for Bron Breakker to become like to be called up to to the main roster. It is time for Bron Breakker to be called up to the main roster. Reason why I say that is because the man has the power, the charisma, the strength, the energy, everything this man can bring to the table, he can bring onto the main roster. And I know that Triple H can use this man well because he is good. Like he can make him a great world champion. I know this already. I know this. He can be a great world champion because he's already a great world champion on NXT. You can make him a better world champion on the main roster. It's that time for him to be called up and to become a WWE champion or a Universal champion when it comes to that time. Like that match was so worth watching. Tyler Bate, every single time with the clothespin, I thought Tyler Bate was going to win them titles. Tyler Bate made everybody like hype, had everybody on their feet, had everybody wanting him to become a unified champion. Tyler Bate made that match worthy to watch. And for Tyler Bate, I'm not gonna lie, he's a cruiserweight, but he tells everybody why he's also a heavyweight, why he deserves to be NXT UK champion, why he deserves to be NXT champion. He deserves both of them titles more than anybody in that locker room, in that men's locker room. Would I say they screwed him out of a title? Not really. They never really. Well, technically, yes, they did screw him out of a title because, honestly, he should have kicked out of that spear. But at the same time, that's like it was a W match, but the outcome of it should have been Tyler Bate. Oh God, the end of it should have been Tyler Bate. But overall, that match was so good, so good. Like it was hella good. Like, oh God, that match was so good. Like each aspect of that match was worth watching. I loved every inch of it. Oh God. Like my boy literally delivered. Literally delivered. Like it got to the point that Bron Breakker was on the top rope. And took out my boy Tyler Bate and my boy did everything in his passion just to win them titles. Like he did everything he could think of in the book to win them titles. He went onto the top rope, and then after that I forgot what move he did, and then try to roll him up that way. Kicked out by Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate is one hell of an athlete. He is one hell of an athlete. And it's crazy. It's definitely crazy. Because this man, Tyler Bate, is one hell of an athlete. He is one hell of an athlete. But he definitely got screwed out of an NXT World Championship win. I mean, I'm happy for Bron Breakker. He deserves this as much as Tyler Bate does. But no one deserves this more than Tyler Bate does. No one deserves this more than Tyler Bate does. He even made Shawn Michaels proud and got a hug from Shawn Michaels. I'm like, bruh. Shawn Michaels said, bro, you did your thing tonight. You did your thing. Even though I love Bron Breakker and I love Tyler Bate, as much as both of them are great competitors, I really wanted Tyler Bate to win. I really did want Tyler Bate to win. But the favorite, the man, Bron Breakker won that night. And I'm not mad about it. You guys think I'm mad? I'm not mad about it. Either way, the outcome, I love both of these wrestlers. I love both of these WWE superstars. They're both great athletes. They're both great wrestlers. It was just hard to pick between both of them. It was hard to pick between both of them. Either way, I wanted either of them to win, on God. As much I wanted Tyler Bate to win, I wanted Bron Breakker to win as well, too. It's like, you can't really hate on Bron Breakker. That's the thing. You can't really hate on Bron Breakker because he worked his ass off to get where the fuck he's at right now. And I'm proud of Tyler Bate, but I'm also proud of Bron Breakker as well too. Like, they're really great champions, both of them separately. They're really great champions. But at the end of the day, there can only be one champion. The one champion that can represent both NXT UK and NXT 2.0. People are saying, like, people can say Braun sucks, Braun's this, Braun that. But at the end of the day, who's still NXT champ and also NXT UK champ? Bron Breakker is. Who is a double champion at Worlds Collide? Bron Breakker is. Who can hold them champions, them world championships up high on top of their head and said, I did that. I'm double champion. I'm NXT champ. I'm NXT UK champ. Bron Breakker can. People can hate on Bron Breakker all they want. But at the end of the day, who is the best NXT champ of all time right now? Bron Breakker. If you could capitalize on both of them titles and become a great champion, an excellent unified champion, an excellent undisputed champion, you have got yourself a great world champion. So, you have main card. Roman Reigns is a unified, undisputed universal champion, going on to becoming 1,000 days reign. If he wins at WrestleMania 39 and retains at WrestleMania 39, Roman Reigns will have 1,000 days reign. If Bron Breakker becomes NXT UK champion, which he did, is still NXT champion, which he is, he will have a very, very long reign as a unified champion and as an NXT champion in NXT 2.0. Mark my words. Mark my words right now. Bron Breakker is the best of NXT. Is the best of that business. I'm gonna let you know. And Tyler Bate is the best of NXT UK. Well, third best because obviously it's Walter, then Pete Dunne, then Tyler Bate. He's the third best of NXT UK. But I'm gonna let you know right now. You can hate Braun all you want, but you got to give credit where credit's due. You need to give credit where credit's due. Bron Breakker showed up and show out, and he is now your unified NXT champion.